problems we also have is originality when it comes to the music industry. That we lack. You know, some artists are trying, you know, to have that originality. I mean, you look back in the days of Musangom, you know, the Gelawa, the Ifam Bondi.
Yeah.
Those were songs that when you play, you know that yes, this is from Gambia.
They still
it's
sound
from
good.
Thank you. So, but if you look at the younger generation right now, they're all about, you can copy America and think you'll be better than them.
And Nigeria.
It's theirs. They own it. That's their original stuff. You know what I mean? So, one of the things that can put us out there in the map and push our entertainment forward is the people out there, you know, getting to ask questions. Whose song is this? Where does this come from?
Where does that beat come from? Yeah.
Thank you. It's something different that they've never
It's like
heard.
when you hear the Afrobeat, you know it's Nigeria. And it sounds so good. You'll be in Europe in the most exclusive clubs.
Right.
And you hear these songs. I remember the first time I heard Afrobeat in London in a very exclusive club. I was so proud. I'm like, oh my God, that is P-Square. They're like, because even though it's not Gambian,
but
I
just
was
being
connected because it's
African.
African.
Yes.
So I think the misconception that our artists have as well is that we think that our sounds are not sellable or marketable.
Right.
I think they can go far. If a British or Spanish or something or Chinese could be somewhere and digging, enjoying P-Square or Whiskey or something like that. They don't even know the language. They don't even know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But it's the beat and the rhythm that travels. I think we have a long way to go when it comes to that as well.
Yeah, and I can remember having a debate with someone, and the person was like, Afrobeat is African. When you say Afro means everybody can use it in Africa,
but our beats are different.
It already has a signature. Like when you hear it, your mind only goes to one or two spots. Is it a Nigeria or Ghana?
Yeah.
So even though it's African, but try to come up with something that's...
We have the tama and
all those instruments can be used to create something.
They're very distinct. They're different.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's good. So, Electra, inspiring in your own way. There's so many ways that you are inspiring, of course.
Right.
You're an amazing Gambian woman. You're doing fantastic. Apart from the dancing scene and your academy, how else do you inspire in your own way? Because I remember even when we scheduled the meeting, you were out touring.
Yes.
You were way out.
Yes.
Greater Banjul area touring. What was that about? And I know that must have been inspirational in your own ways.
Right. So one of the things I also do through dance.
You do it all, don't you?
I try. So okay, I was touring because I partnered with Special Olympics. Inclusion means a lot to me. And looking at our society, I feel people with intellectual disability, you know, are always segregated and isolated. You know what I mean? So I thought of, okay, why not come up with a project that I can bring, you know, people with special needs and, you know, the normal together to promote a unified society. So that was what I was working on. And then I had one of the youth leaders that went to Kenya in the summit to represent us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it was really great. And so now what I do is I use her to, you know, when we go to different schools and then we talk to the children during assembly. She talks about unified, she talks about inclusion, she talks about everything that we can do together to help each other, uplift each other instead of just leaving them. But aside from that, I also have my own foundation, and my focus is on orphans, you know, because I see our SOS village, they're doing a great job. They've been trying, they've been doing so many things. But I came across, this whole thing came about because one of the dancers I have is actually living at the youth village. Yeah, he was part of the competition, but I didn't know. So what happened was there was a day from rehearsal, I was just going home. I'm like, 4 days. He just told me, you know, around the SOS, but he didn't tell me he was in the village. So when I dropped him, he said, Fila, I just had goosebumps. Like, I'm like, no. So I went home that night, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, I need to do something, you know, for the orphans in the country. So I started my own foundation,
awesome.
for the orphans as well. Yeah.
This is so nice. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, this is why this is important to me, because this is stuff that people wouldn't know about. They would think you're all about dancing, which is great as well. But there's so many things that you were doing. Before we go on that break, I would just like to ask. You have this persona of being really like tough, like I am, like okay, for me, a lot of people think I am nice, but they think I'm very strict.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
You
That's
think?
true. I could tell.
Really?
Uh-huh.
A lot of people think that, oh, Oley is friendly, she's nice. But I think she's very strict. You have this persona, but sitting down, talking to you today, and all these things, there's this soft spot that you have that I never would have guessed. How do you conceal it so much?
Well, I can remember someone told me, someone once told me, said, this is someone very close to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, you really have a soft heart. I'm like, why? But you act tough on the outside.
Yeah.
But in the inside, you're like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's society that just made me become like that.
Yeah.
You know, because with everything I have to deal with, I just had, you know, to
toughen up a
shield
little
myself
bit.
and be very tough
Yeah.
to face everything that I
Yeah.
was ready
Yeah.
to go through. So
And it works.
it did.
It's working.
It did.
We're gonna go for a short break. When we come back, we go to the last segment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I'm gonna take you back to, was it 2015? I remember when I first met you,
Yes.
and I was like, oh my God, you were different. I
Mhm.
remember it was the Goody Gambia Taal that Social Security organized with the Au Pair project, and I was the
Yes.
Goodwill ambassador.
Yeah.
And there was lots of girls
Mhm.
there. But you stood out, you were different. I remember having a conversation with you, and you told me you were an actress.
Yes.
That you were actually on a movie set
Yeah.
at that moment, because you go to your movie for your casting, your shooting, and you come here for your modeling stuff and stuff and all that.
Mhm.
How's that? Are you still in the movies? In acting?
I wouldn't say I'm still in the movies and acting. Well, my attention kind of shifted a bit.
Yeah.
Because
A lot.
because my focus was, you know, on my goals.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, our movie industry wasn't ready yet.
Mhm.
Even though they're still trying, they're really trying, it's tough. But we were not there.
Okay.
So after doing that movie with Efe Omo Igori, I just took a back seat with movies and
Okay.
focused on my projects and the institute that I wanted to work on.
Mm.
But I'm still in the acting business because sometimes we perform at the Fuzion Theatre when Mrs. Janet Bajana plays, he does covers, and then we'll dance.
That's like the Broadway of Gambia.
Exactly. So the Broadway of Gambia. Oh, that's a good
Gambia
place.
Broadway.
Yeah. So I do perform with her from time to time because most of her scene for her plays do have dance scenes. So we sometimes perform with them.
Perform.
Yeah.
Okay. This last segment is where we get a bit personal.
Right.
You are a young woman in Gambia right now. We're at a very crucial time where there's lots of things happening.
Yes.
Amazing things. A lot of transitional things in
Right.
different aspects of our life.
Right.
And the youth of the country, I think, are way so determined right now, more than ever. I don't think there's been a time where we have been even more motivated to do good and to do well. As a young woman, as a youth of the moment, even because there's so many people looking up to you, if you were to advise your fellow youths and young women and men of the Gambia on ways that they can join hands together to make the country even greater, because it's for us. At the end of the day, it's going to be left to us for us to live to other people.
Exactly.
What strong message would you give them?
Well, I just advise them to come together. You know, Ndey, Oley, it's sad that, you know, things are happening this way. And sometimes we are divided by our leaders and all that. But then we need to take a step back.
As kids.
Yes, we need to take a step back and, you know, study the whole situation and put the country's best interest at heart.
Yes.
You know, it's not about, I know him, he's my uncle, or he's my dad, or he's my cousin, or he's this. You know, it's not based on, Gambia just need to focus on what's best for Gambia in general, not what's best for Fatou or Ndey Oley. It's what's best for the country.
In general.
And remember, at the end of the day, we are all going to be parents someday, and we want our kids to benefit. We want our kids to come to a new Gambia. You know what I mean? So it's our responsibility as youths of today to make that change. And the only way we can make it is, you know, coming together as one and then fighting for the best thing that can happen for the country. But at the end of the day, I don't advise them to you know, use violence for anything because that doesn't help the situation. Instead, it worsens it. So let us have a dialogue as youth, talk about these things, come together. I mean, I'm really happy that one of our Mandela Washington Fellows have already launched the debate, the debate for the first time in the country. So we have a platform now to pose our questions to all these leaders that say they have the best interests of the country at heart. So let's go out there, meet them, have a dialogue with them, pose our questions, analyze everything, and come together as youth and make it a better country.
With that, where do you even start to even do that? How do you start it? Where do you think you can start with it? Do you think that, for example, given that you in your dancing academy and your use of movement, I am in my own media world and fashion world, and somebody else is there doing their catering, another person is a doctor, do you not think it would be nice or wise if something was organized as young people from different fields to come and show that we have a potential, we have a future, and we have lots of great and amazing leaders waiting to just flourish and do so many amazing things. Because I think sometimes as well, in our society, we focus a lot on Maggie, and then Halenga, you remain a kid. But
that's our problem. We feel we're too young to lead.
Yes.
And we're not too young to lead.
Yeah.
If we have people that are potential, they have the qualifications, they can do it, we should support them to do it. Like you said, it's important to just organize something that everybody should come together. I believe, like you mentioned, everybody in their own world, we can use those as powerful tools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you have a great platform. It's in the media is powerful. If we have 5 Oleys that are in the media, what else are we going to do? We can easily reach out to all the youths and say, this is happening, everybody should come. And then when we come, we can also discuss other things that we can, I don't know, like you said, the doctors can come up because they're already in the field, they know what we lack in the system, they know what we should do, we can come up with solutions. Those that are in the other fields can also come up with, but it has to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
That is bringing all the youths together. That togetherness has to be there for us.
Reaching out to each other. And the blessing is it's a small country. We all know each other. So I know how to reach you. You know how to reach out to me. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
With everything that you're doing, obviously you have a long way to go. I'm sure you're going to do amazing. You're just going to blow out. Inshallah. We pray that we witness it. You fake it.
Amen.
Do you sometimes need the government or the people's help to be able to push you to do what you need? If you were to, you're solicited for help. This is not where I'm going.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, if there was anything anybody could do to make what you're doing easier, what would that be?
Okay. One thing I believe is you can never do anything on your own. Okay. You can have your goals. You can work towards them, but you definitely need a support system at some point. I can remember, Fatou was one of the people that I went to when I just wrote. She was one of the people that helped
me to your program.
Even write my business plan. I've been to so many people. So these are people on the sidelines that even you or any other person don't even know they've contributed to my success.
No.
So at some point you need people to help you. You need the support of everyone. And the government, of course, everybody needs the government to support, because without them it will be so hard for you to implement anything you want. Because today, why do you think we have the name Dance Gambia instead of Gambia Dance Championship? Because when you put Gambia Dance Championship, the government is going to come to you, change your name. You cannot use Gambia. You know what I mean? So
is that fair?
They said it's in the constitution. So
okay.
You have to literally go to KMC and reserve the name. They have to write to the president for approval before you can use Gambia, according to them.
Yeah.
So these are all things that we face. So we need everybody's support. Whatever an individual is doing, he or she needs support.
Absolutely.
And it's up to the people to come out and support them, encourage them, motivate them to keep striving. Yeah.
This has been so amazing having you here doing this show, and I'm not disappointed at all. It went so good. Yeah, of course. I know you don't talk a lot, but I got to drag you out here and get you talking. So what message would you leave for my audience, for the show, leaving your mark in this studio today? What would you leave with me?
Right. Before I do that, I'm just going to talk about someone that was very dear to me, very close to my heart. She was my best friend. She was my support system. She's been through me, she's been with me thick and thin. We've done things together. She's supported my goals. and I lost her like just last month, October. Yeah, so, and she's been my everything. I lost her to asthma.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, thank you. Why I'm bringing this up is, I mean, she has motivated me so much to become what I am today. And it was so hard being in that hospital and seeing that the entire hospital has just one nebulizer machine for asthmatic patients. And you come in and you see asthmatic patients with attack, they will have to be in a queue to wait for one another just for that machine. I'm saying this because I hope anybody that's watching your show can just go to any hospital if they can donate, nebulizing machines and save lives.
Oh my God.
I just had to because it was heartbreaking to just see little children with asthma, see adults struggle on the queue waiting for that one person on the machine to restore. It was crazy. But thank you so much for having me here. You don't cry. Thank you so much.
Made me feel so sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's okay. I've been crying.
Sorry, I'm a bit baby sometimes.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
super
It's
emotional.
alright to be emotional. It's fine. I mean, I'm just saying it. I'm sure you are trying to imagine everything.
Yeah,
in your head,
it's a
so,
lot.
Yeah. So, but thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome, of course.
And
Anytime.
I really enjoyed having this interview. For the first time, I'm calm and
I'm glad.
Yes, but for you viewers, I will just encourage them to keep watching your show.
Thank you.
Because the people you bring on your show are really inspiring,
thanks.
And then I think your viewers will learn a lot from everybody's stories.
Yes.
And their
That's the
personalities.
aim.
Exactly. So we really can thank you enough for coming up with such an initiative that can also empower youths that are back home. So you are also playing a very big role.
I hope so.
You are. It's a very big thing that you're doing. I can be at home and watch one of your shows and be inspired or even spark a business idea from it.
Right.
You never know.
That's true.
So, yeah, for your viewers, let them watch out for Fuzion Dance Academy Entertainment.
Yeah.
And let them feel free to join us. They can find us on social media everywhere. They can come, for classes or Zumba or whatever. We're there, to work. It's business.
You have a big following. I'm sure you're gonna have a big lineup out
Inshallah.
there, adding to what you already have.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And we can't wait to see just you doing more amazing, bigger things.
Thank you.
So keep us updated, and we wish you
keep
all the
inspiring
best.
us as well.
I'll try.
Because I was one of the people she inspired actually. I can remember in 2015, I really wanted to be Oley. Oh, her composer. Oh, look at her. She's smart. She's this.
Oh,
She's
thank you.
hardworking.
Thank
So
you. I try. Thank you so much.
you're amazing.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for watching as well, you guys at home. Until next week, have a good day. Bye-bye. Take care.